Cuebids or control showing bids. It's a subject I've covered in the past, though not for quite a long time. And it's a form of Cuebid, also known as control showing bids, because there are other kinds of Cuebids that show different things. But we'll look at what they show and when you can use them. But to start off with, let's have a look at this hand here, where you're West and you get dealt this very nice hand. It's 21 points. Would anyone like to tell me what they think they should bid on this one? You'll have to unmute yourselves.
2 clubs.
Yeah, I think it's your strongest bid there, isn't it? Even though it's not quite 23 points, you definitely want to be in game on this hand, possibly even in a slam if your partner's got the right card. So yes, I would bid 2 clubs on this hand. And let's suppose your partner bids 2 diamonds, which is say 0 to 7 points, and you bid your suit, you'll bid 2 hearts. Now there's no need to jump here really. Your 2 clubs has created a forcing auction, a game forcing auction. So you can just bid your suit and just bid 2 hearts. That should show at least a 5 card suit. And obviously enough points, well, strong enough for game. And let's suppose your partner supports you, bids 3 hearts. So you found a fit in hearts. What you want to find out on this hand is, well, you're thinking about whether to go for a slam or not. If your partner's got, say, the ace of hearts or the ace of diamonds, you possibly want to be in a slam here. Let's suppose, though, that you start off by bidding 4 no trump, which is, say, ordinary Blackwood, and your partner responds 5 diamonds. That shows 1 ace. But do you know whether you want to be in a slam or not? The problem with this hand is that your partner's got 1 ace, but you don't know which ace it is. If it's the ace of diamonds or the ace of hearts, you probably want to be in a 6 heart contract. But if it's the ace of clubs, then you don't want to be in a slam at all. So Blackwood doesn't really help you identify which aces your partner has, but this is a hand where you can instead try cue bidding to find out how which ace your partner has. So the way it works on this hand is that once you and your partner have agreed a trump suit, here you've agreed 3 hearts, if you bid a new suit, you are saying, partner, I'm interested in a slam, and you're showing the control that you have. That bid of 3 spades is basically starts off as the cheapest bid you can make, and it shows that you have first round control, what's called first round control in spades. Normally it's the ace, or it could sometimes be a void. And you're saying, I'm looking for a slam, I've got first round control in spades, and you're inviting your partner to cue bid any aces that they have. So if you bid 3 spades and they respond, say, 4 diamonds, they are saying a couple of things there. They're saying, well, from where we were in the bidding, 3 spades, I bypassed 4 clubs, so I don't have control in clubs. I don't have the ace of clubs, but I do have first round control in diamonds, presumably the ace. So that's quite good news for you, because they've got the ace of diamonds, you think, based on that. Now you can now launch into Blackwood, your normal use of Blackwood, 4 no trump. And if your partner responds 5 diamonds, that should mean that they've got 1 ace, and it's presumably the ace of diamonds. What it definitely isn't, it's not the ace of clubs, because they had a chance to cue bid clubs and they didn't. So they bid 5 diamonds. And now you should, even though you're missing, well, you're missing 2 aces, in fact, but because you've got, you're only missing 1 of the red aces, you should pretty confidently expect to bid 6 hearts there. And your partner's hand will hopefully be something like this. They don't have much, but they've got some kind of fit for you in hearts, and they've got the ace of diamonds. And I hope you can see that 6 hearts is a good contract to be in. do interrupt me if you have any questions, although I will be expanding on this in a moment, and hopefully that will deal with any questions you may have.
Tony, why would the person who's open two clubs do the cue bidding? Because the hand's that strong.
Yeah, because you want to find out not only whether your partner's got any aces, but you want to try and find out which ace they have. You're saying, why should West start cue bidding?
Yes.
Yeah,
because your partner's told you 2 diamonds, which isn't a lot.
No, it's 0 to 8 points. Yeah. So, but they could. So they won't have 2 aces, but they could have
5.
Sorry.
Got 5 points.
Yeah. So that's what they've got. That 2 diamond bid showed 0 to 8 points.
Sure.
But what was important was that they've got the ace of diamonds.
But if you've only got 21 and your partner's got 0 to 8, why would you be looking for a slam?
Right. Why? Well, do you think you should be in a slam on this hand?
Presumably, but I can't see why with that hand you would be thinking about it when your partner's replied 2 diamonds.
Okay. Well, I mean, just have a look at the 2 hands together, and I hope you can see that 6 hearts is a great contract.
Yeah.
I mean, the point count doesn't do the West hand justice, does it?
No.
In fact, all you need to make a slam is for your partner to have one of those aces, or you'd make a grand slam if they had the ace of hearts and the ace of diamonds. And it's really, the point count system doesn't do that justice, doesn't take into account your fantastic shape and your fantastic cards there.
But why wouldn't Blackwood give you that same result?
Okay. So if we go back a few slides, let's go back. This is what I started off with 4 diamonds, and your partner, 4 no trump, and your partner bids 5 diamonds. Your partner's got 1 ace, but you don't know which ace it is.
Does it matter?
Well, I put it to you that it does.
Okay.
Because if it's the ace of clubs, then you're missing 2 important aces right away.
Oh, okay, I see.
Okay, so what's different about this hand is that you've got that void, and that void makes it extremely desirable to try to find out not just how many aces your partner has, but which aces.
Oh, right, thank you.
So because of that void that this hand is much more suitable to start off by cue bidding, which may be able to tell you which ace your partner has. And then you can back that up with 4 no trump to verify that they do just have 1 ace. And I hope you can see that 6 hearts is a great contract. Now, let's suppose, let me go through the example, and perhaps that will answer the question. So let's suppose that instead, this is exactly the same hand, but now when you bid 3 spades, your partner bids 4 clubs. So there they are showing control in clubs, presumably the ace, or conceivably a void in clubs. And that's not such good news for you. If you now follow up by bidding 4 no trump, and your partner bids 5 diamonds, again showing 1 ace, then I hope you can see you don't really want to be in any slam at all, because you're missing, if your partner has just 1 ace and it's the ace of clubs, you're off those 2 important aces in hearts and diamonds, and you should just sign off there in 5 hearts there, because you've got those 2 important aces missing. Or let's imagine, again, this is exactly the same hand, and you bid 3 spades this time, and your partner responds 4 hearts. Now, what does that show? Well, first of all, from where you were in the bidding, they bypass 4 clubs, so they don't have controlling clubs. They don't have the ace of clubs, and they bypass 4 diamonds, so they don't have the ace of diamonds. And what they've done is bid 4 hearts. They've returned to the trump suit. And what that means, really, is that they don't have the ace of clubs, they don't have the ace of diamonds. It does not promise the ace of hearts. It does not deny the ace of hearts. When you're cue bidding, you cannot show the ace of trump, because if you have nothing to cue bid, you just return to the trump suit for hearts here. However, you can find out if your partner's got an ace, again, by using Blackwood. And if they come up with 5 diamonds, they are showing 1 ace, and you know it must be the ace of hearts because they had a chance to Q-bid the clubs and the diamond, 4 clubs or 4 diamonds. They didn't, and they bid 4 hearts. So again, if they've got 1 ace and it's the ace of hearts, you should be pretty confident that you want to be in 6 hearts on this hand. And again, if your partner again has that ace of hearts, you can see that 6 hearts should be a great contract to be in.
Tony,
Yes.
supposing the East had 8 points, and those 8 points were a red ace and the ace of clubs only,
Yes.
would he still respond 2 diamonds to the 2 club opener?
Not normally, if you have 8 points or more, particularly if you have 2 aces, I would try to make a positive response. So don't bid 2 diamonds, bid something else, bid your suit or bid 2 no trump.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, that's my recommendation. Some people always bid 2 diamonds, but what I normally teach is that the negative bid is 0 to 7, and it should therefore deny 2 aces.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's an example really of Q bidding, because and it's useful there because you've got a void, and it becomes very helpful to try and find out if which ace your partner has. So that's what control showing bids, Q bids are all about, and this is how they work. Once a suit has been agreed, a non-jump bid of a new suit shows interest in a slam and first round control of that suit. That's normally an ace, or sometimes could be a void in that suit. When you start to Q bid, you start with the cheapest available suit, and partners should bid their cheapest suit in response. With nothing to Q bid, they return to the trump suit, and you cannot Q bid the ace of trump. And Q bids are most useful when you have a hand with a void or 2 quick losers in a suit, where it becomes quite useful to try and identify where your partner's aces are, not just how many they may have. And you can still use 4 no trump, Blackwood, or Roman key card Blackwood after you Q bid, but you can't go the other way around. Once you start using Blackwood, you can't then switch into Q bidding. And a Q bid has to be if you've agreed a fit in a major suit, it has to be above the 3 level of the agreed major, or if you've agreed a minor suit, it should be above 3 no trump. So let's have a look at a few more examples of this. And let's look at this one here, where this time your partner's opened the bidding with 1 club, and you've got a great hand, 18 points. You should be thinking you're possibly in slam territory here. Your partner should have, say, 12 or more. And this hand is worth a jump to 2 spades. A jump in a new suit should show a good 5-card suit at least, and 16 or more points. So this hand, you could bid 1 spade, but it qualifies for a 2-spade bid. And let's suppose your partner supports you. That means they've got at least 3 spades to support you. And you might well be thinking about the possibilities of a slam here. You've certainly, 30 plus points between the 2 hands. The only thing here is you're a little bit worried about 1 suit in particular. You're a bit worried about the heart suit here, because you've got a doubleton there, and if your partner has no control in that suit, in the heart suit, the opponents might start off by taking 2 hearts. So on this hand here, you might decide, instead of going straight into 4 no trump, which would tell you how many aces your partner has, you might decide to start Q bidding. And I've got the first poll of the evening. What do you think West should bid with this hand? So it's gone 1 club, 2 spades, 3 spades, and I'd like you to decide, what do you think West should bid here? We share the results with you. And virtually everyone here has gone for 4 clubs. Just 1 person went straight to 4 no trump. And yes, I agree with that, 4 clubs. This is a hand where you want to don't want to bid a slam if you're missing two aces, but it'd be quite helpful to find out which ace your partner has. So you Cuebid here, that cannot be that you are suggesting clubs as a trump suit. You've already agreed spades as a trump suit. Your bit of a new suit says, partner, I'm interested in a slam. I have first round control in clubs, and I'm inviting you to Cuebid anything you have, any voids or aces. Now, suppose you bid 4 clubs and your partner responds 4 hearts. That is saying, East is saying, partner, I don't have the ace of diamonds. I bypass 4 diamonds, but I have control in hearts, presumably the ace of hearts. And that is a good fit for you because now the heart suit is not wide open. Your partner's got control in that suit. So you might well decide, knowing that you're missing 1 ace, the ace of diamonds, but that you've got presumably the ace of hearts, you might well decide to go straight to 6 spades. And you hope your partner's got something like this. So they've got, they're missing the ace of diamonds, so the opponents can take that trick, but your partner's got the hearts under control. And they've got to have an opening hand, so they've got to have their point somewhere. And I hope you can see that 6 spades here should be a pretty good contract. In fact, on this hand, I think you have 13 top tricks off the top. So unless they take a diamond to start with, the ace of diamonds, you will make all the tricks. But otherwise, you'll make just sort of 12 tricks there.
Tony?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you go to Blackwood there to see if you got 7?
The bit of 4 hearts denies the ace of diamonds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good question. Yeah, so you could probably just bid 6 spades on that.
Tony, if they've only got an ace and 2 of hearts, you could lose a heart and a diamond. Well,
you could. On the other hand, they've got to have their point somewhere, and I suppose the thing is they can't take those tricks. They can't take the heart trick right away. So even if they lead a heart, if you didn't have the king, I mean, on this hand, you'd be fine because you'd be able to draw trumps and play the clubs and discard the heart. So you're not relying on having the king of hearts.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is, not absolutely guaranteed that your partner, just because they've got the ace of hearts and a spade fit, that you'll be able to make 6. But it's a very good indication. And what makes this hand, the West hand, suitable for Cuebiding is that worthless doubleton, that it makes it quite useful to see if your partner's got that suit covered. If you have the same hand, but when you bid 4 clubs, they bid 4 diamonds, they're presumably showing the ace of diamonds there. And now if you bid 4 no trump and they bid 5 diamonds, they're showing 1 ace, and it's presumably the ace of diamonds. So now the slam is a little more risky because you could easily have 2 quick losers in hearts because your partner doesn't have the ace of hearts, and maybe you should just sign off in 5 spades there. And you may well find that the opponents would be able to take 2 hearts here. So you really don't want to be in a slam on this one. So those are the main situations where Cuebiding is useful, when you've got a void or where you've got a suit where you've got 2 quick losers. Let's have a look at another example.
Can I just ask something?
Yes, of course, Francis.
I know this, I should know the answer to this, but I don't seem to. If I'm asked by my partner, Blackwood, for no trumps, and I've got 1 ace and 1 void, what would I say?
So unless you're playing some kind of advanced system, you do not show the void.
I do not show the
No,
void.
you do not treat the void as an ace. No.
Okay, thank
So
you.
when you're Cuebiding, you can show your aces or voids. They both count as first round control. But in response to Blackwood, you do not show a void. You do not count a void.
Okay, so in Cuebiding you do,
Yeah,
and in no
that's
trump.
right,
Thank you.
that's right.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's have a look at this one here. And here, again, your partner's opened 1 club. again, you've got a very nice hand with 17 points and a very nice heart suit. So this hand is worth a jump to 2 hearts. Your partner supports you, so they've got at least 3 card support. And I've got another poll for you. What do you think East might bid on this hand? Have a little think, and I will launch a poll in a moment. Okay, let's have a look at the results. And most of you have gone for 3 spades, with quite a few going for 4 clubs, 4 spades, and 1 person went for 4 no trump. So let's have a look at the hand again. Well, we're thinking of the possibility of a slam here. We're missing 2 aces, but the suit we're more worried about is diamonds, because we have no first or second round control in diamonds, and we're hoping that my partner does have control in that suit. So this hand, although you could use Blackwood, it perhaps is more suitable to start by Q bidding. And if you start by Q bidding, you start by bidding the cheapest bid from where you are in the auction, and that bid is 3 spades. If you bid 4 clubs there, strictly speaking, you're saying you don't have control in spades, because you had a chance to bid 3 spades and you didn't bid that. So 3 spades, yes, is the right bid there. And here, you know, of course, your partner is very unlikely to bid 4 clubs because you've got the ace of clubs, but they bid 4 diamonds. So they have first round control in diamonds, either the ace or conceivably a void. So that's pretty good news. If you bid 4 no trump, however, let's suppose they bid 5 clubs. 5 clubs in response to 4 no trump is just normal Blackwood, showing no aces. So what do you make of that? And what do you think he should bid now? Have another little think about it. See if you can work out what your partner is showing. Let me share the results with you. And most of you have gone for 5 hearts, 71%, with 29% going for 6 hearts. Well, let's think about it. That response of 4 no trump to 5 clubs shows they have no aces. However, they Q bid with 4 diamonds. So if they don't have any aces, it must be a void. And therefore, if they are void in, so they have no aces, but they are void in diamonds. So hopefully you won't have any diamond losers. So there's no point sort of asking for kings or anything here. But even though you're missing 2 aces here, because you know your partner is void in diamonds, I think 6 hearts is a good shot here. And you're hoping your partner's got something like this. Remember, they've got to have an opening hand as well as support for you in hearts. And with that void in diamonds, you hopefully won't lose any diamond tricks. If your opponents lead diamonds, you can ruff. But here, after you've drawn trumps, you'll be able to cash your clubs, and you should find that 6 hearts is a good contract to be in.
But Tony, isn't that 4 diamonds by West showing they've got control in diamonds?
It is, and that's exactly what they're showing.
So
They're
it
showing
means it isn't an ace.
it's not an ace, it's a void in this case. That's right.
Okay.
So I mean, it doesn't happen that often, but it is when you Q bid, you are either showing the ace of diamonds or a void in that suit. So it happens to work out well here. It gives your partner a chance to show that void, which otherwise they could never really show. So just want to mention that even though Q bidding is often useful, you don't really need to do it just for the sake of it. So, for example, let's look at this hand here, where East, your partner, has opened 1 no trump, and you've got 18 points. So you know you've got at least 30 points between the two hands, and you've got a very nice heart suit. And this might be the kind of hand really where you just want to find out how many aces your partner has. So you can't really bid for no trump immediately, because that would not be asking for aces, that will be quantitative. So what you do in a case like this is you start by bidding a suit. Many people play that jumping to the 3 level can be used on a hand like this. It sort of basically shows at least a 5-card heart suit. For some reason, you've decided to bypass the transfers and just show your suit. And now when your partner supports you in hearts, presumably they've got 3 or more hearts for you, if you now bid for no trump, that is just regular Blackwood or key card Blackwood if you were playing that. And when your partner bids 5 hearts, they are showing 2 aces, and you're missing. You've only got 1 ace yourself, but that bid means that they're showing 2 aces. So what do you think you should bid on this hand here? It's the last poll of the evening. Let's have a look at the results there. And most of you have gone for 6 hearts here, with a small number bidding pass or 5 no trump. And if we switch back to the show, I agree with you. Yes, your partner has shown 2 aces here, and we don't really care what they are. They might be the ace of hearts, the ace of clubs, or the ace of spades. But in any case, you're missing 1 ace, but whichever ace it is, it should only be 1 trick. So this hand is not, the West hand is not really one where you need to think about cue bidding, because all you really want to find out is find out how many aces your partner has. So I think once you find out your partner's got 2 aces, doesn't really matter what they are, you should probably go for 6 hearts. You wouldn't bid 5 no trump here, because you're missing an ace. And it's a common mistake to bid 5 no trump just for the sake of it, asking about kings, but you really don't care about the kings, and the 5 no trump would commit you to the 6th level anyway. So just bid 6 hearts on that one. Okay.
Again, how do you bid that hand if you play transfers?
Well, even if you play transfers, many people play that not playing transfers, and in other words, jumping to 3 hearts can be used here. If you want to bid this one using transfers, then you would go 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, and probably on this one you could bid a second suit. You could bid your club suit. So let's say 1 no trump, 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, 3 clubs. Maybe now your partner will support your hearts, bid 3 hearts, and then you do what you wanted to do all along, which was to use Blackwood.
Can you go to Blackwood after the 2 hearts? No.
After the 2 hearts?
Once they've done the transfer.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you could. I mean, some people play 4 no trump as not Blackwood in that situation, but I think it's simplest to play 4 no trump as Blackwood, except in direct response to 1 no trump or 2 no trump.
Thank you.
So yes, I think you could bid that as well that way. I do just want to talk a little more about Cuebids, because you will come across situations, and people do describe it, where once you finish cue bidding all your first round controls, all your aces and voids, if you now continue to cue bid, that is showing your second round controls, which are kings or a singleton. Now that's fairly rare that can happen, but that's what it means if that does happen. And I also want to point out that quite a lot of people use Cuebids in a slightly different way. There are 2 different schools of thought, and a very a popular alternative is that you can Cuebid to show either first round or second round control. So if you bid 4 clubs as a Q bid, that's not necessarily showing an ace or a void. It could also be showing a king or a singleton. So 4 possibilities. And there are people who recommend this, and it is a very workable scheme, but I think it can lead to a bit more uncertainty about what your partner's got. So I don't particularly recommend that, but you may come across people who recommend that you Q bid both to show aces, kings, singletons, or voids. But I remember seeing one example once where 2 experts had sort of got to this slam, and it turned out that neither of them had the controls that they needed because they were showing second round controls rather than first round controls. So I don't recommend that, but you may come across that.
Tony,
Yeah.
do we have to alert at some point, or is it just goes like that?
You don't need to alert. The rules on alerting is that you don't need to alert bids above 3 no trump. Sorry, you don't need to bid artificial bids above 3 no trump. So actually, in theory, if you Q bid and it's something like 3 spades, then that could be alertable, yes. But most Q bids are not alertable. So yeah, they would be alertable except for that rule that most of them are above 3 no trumps, so are not alertable.